You sent a letter today that was interesting to the GAO, asking for a legal analysis of one of the things the administration did, which was to withhold this aid. Talk me through your thinking there.
So we know from the mountain of evidence from the House that the president abused the powers of his office, right? He withheld the critical military assistance from Ukraine to try to extract this personal political favor, interfere in our elections. But I also believe that in doing so, he violated the Impoundment Control Act, that the withholding was illegal and a violation of the law in a different sense as well. And that would hold true, I believe, even if we accepted the president's sort of fanciful view of events where he claimed that this was just some kind of policy review. Now, we know that's not true from the facts, but even that, in my view, would be a violation of the Impoundment Control Act and an illegal withholding. And so that's what we're asking GAO about.
Impoundment Control Act is specifically a statute that directs money to be spent, if so directed by Congress, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, the Congress appropriated these funds. In fact, the president had to sign the appropriations bill to put into effect. And the Impoundment Control Act sets out very narrow circumstances under which the executive branch can withhold funds after that fact. And if they do withhold funds, they have to notify Congress. Now, no notification was ever provided to Congress under the Impoundment Control Act, because we know what they were up to. They were trying to use these funds to pressure President Zelensky to do their political dirty work.
You know, this zeroes in on what is in some ways the linchpin of this entire story here, right? The withholding of aid, but also from a factual perspective, the details of which I think we know the least about, I think it's fair to say. We know a lot about everything else, but the actual mechanics by which the aid was withheld and at what direction, we got that new piece of evidence today with the email to DOD on the day of the phone call. Is there other evidence you would like to see on that question?
Oh, I believe there's lots of evidence. And the administration is claiming that this latest revelation, this latest email from Michael Duffy is not that important because they'd already started conversations previously about withholding the assistance. All that tells us is what we know, which is this was an ongoing scheme that came to a head in the phone call. The fact that they'd already been discussing what the president's wishes were with respect to withholding the aid just adds ammunition to our argument. And yes, we would want those documents, those conversations. Look, we all know that Mitt Mulvaney blurted out the truth when he had that press conference at the White House. I'll bet he tells a very different story when he has to put up his right hand and swear under penalty of perjury like the witnesses had to do in the House.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.